Hello, this is Gary Schnitkey, and this is a 5-minute Farm Doc Daily dealing with crop insurance loss ratios and how they persist over time in some crops. Federal crop insurance is administered by the Risk Management Agency, and when the Risk Management Agency sets premiums for crop insurance, they attempt to maintain a loss ratio of roughly 0.88. A loss ratio equals crop insurance payments divided by total premiums, and those premiums are what is paid in for crop insurance. A portion of those are from farmers, and a portion of those are subsidies provided by the federal government. Again, over time, the Risk Management Agency attempts to maintain a loss ratio slightly below 1. A loss ratio at 1 means that indemnity payments equal total premium. If they're above 1, that means that premiums are less than payments, or that payments exceed premiums, and less than 1, payments are less than premiums. The Risk Management Agency is meeting its goal of less than a 1.0 loss ratio. Loss ratios are available since 1989 in the Summary of Business. The first several years from 1989 to 1993, loss ratios were above 1 for the entire crop insurance program. Since 1993, the loss ratios have been below 1 most of the years and have averaged slightly above 0.8. If we look at periods of crop insurance and the loss ratio, from 1989 through 2001, the loss ratio averaged 1.1, and that included those years with the high loss ratios. From 2002 to 2011, we have average loss ratios of 0.79, and from 2012 onward, we have loss ratios equal to 0.84. The division between 2011 and 2012 is important because in that year, RMA implemented a re-rating of corn and soybeans to address issues associated with corn and soybean premiums. In general, those corn and soybean premiums were relatively low to that 1.0 loss ratio and relatively low to other crops. So we asked this question: since 2012, have the loss ratios for those low loss ratio crops increased and become more equal over time? We looked at that for the 15 largest crops as far as total premium in the crop insurance system. Corn has 35% of the premium, and soybeans have 22% of the premium, and that's average total premium from 2017 to 2021. Those two crops, corn and soybeans, have 57% of the premium in the system. And during those years, that premiums averaged $10.7 billion. So if we look at those loss ratios for those crops and divide it out between those from 2002 through 2011, there are 5 crops with low loss ratios from 2002 to 2011 of those 15, and that would include almonds, potatoes, corn, soybeans, and rice. Since 2012, and between 2012 and 2021, those crops, except for rice, continue to have low loss ratios. The crop with the lowest loss ratio is almonds, but soybeans is in there as well as a very low loss ratio crop. So both corn and soybeans continue to have low loss ratios compared to the other crops and compared to the benchmark. That is after the re-rating, and by the way, that does include the 2012 drought year in that later loss ratio from 2012 to 2021, and we still see corn and soybeans having low loss ratios. You can read more about this issue in the Farm Doc Daily, link to the video description below.